Hey guys, Denise here, back with another astrology video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the water element. First, we're going to talk a little bit about the element itself, how you can identify it within yourself and in others. And then in the second half of the video, we're going to talk about some self-care tips to help you keep your water flowing so that you can have really amazing intuition, so that you can be connected and in control of your feelings and use your emotional power for good in the world, but not exhaust yourself. Because when you're a water person, emotional exhaustion is a thing that you need to be aware of and that you need to look out for and take care of yourself. So let's get into the video. Finally, we got to my water babies. So this video is going to, maybe some of the topics we talk about might sound familiar to my 12th house sun video. So if you have a 12th house sun and you haven't seen that video, I highly recommend it. I'm gonna put it in the little thingy. So now let's get into the video. So the water element is dissolving, and what it does is it dissolves barriers between people. It unites people from your heart to their heart. It connects others, and it is free flowing, and it deals with emotions, intuition. And the last really important thing you have to remember about water is that it is receptive. And the reason why this is so important is because water people have a tendency to just take on the emotions of others, take on people's criticisms, people's judgments, just because it is so receptive. Just think about water, just like a pure glass of water, and how you can just dump little droplets of, I don't like to use the word dump, how you can just drop little tiny droplets of other things, and little by little that water gets contaminated. So in that 12th house sun video, I talk about how whenever you don't keep your waters moving, you are going to become stagnant, and you can kind of be sitting in a soup of negative feelings. And whenever you're sitting in stagnant energy, you yourself are going to be weighed down, and you're not going to be able to do those amazing things that you love to do, like take care of other people. Water people, those Cancers, Pisces people, you guys really like to take care of others. Scorpio, you really like to use your intuition for good, and you really like to know people. But if you sit in negative emotions for too long, you could become paranoid, Scorpio. That's where it comes from. It comes from sitting in a negative emotion for too long. You need to keep that water flowing, and that can be difficult, especially for Scorpios, because remember that you are fixed water. So that's where the self-care tips come in handy. So I like to say that people have their currency that they expend in the world. And for water people, your currency is both your intuition and the emotional work that you do, your emotional capacity. And people don't often think about this, but water people do so much emotional work for others. So whenever somebody's experiencing grief, when somebody is having a problem, when somebody has gone through a breakup, through a loss, through whatever it is, any difficult thing that they're feeling emotional about, a water person comes and takes those emotions, and if you're a Scorpio, you want to transform them. If you're a Pisces, you sit with them. If you're a Cancer, you respond to those emotions and you want to do something for the other person. So doing this emotional work is taxing, and people don't realize this because this work is something that you can't really see. So it is really important as a water person to respect the fact that your currency is invisible, and other people might not realize what has happened or that it's there, and they might take it for granted. But you as a water person need to understand that it's very much real. Even if you can't see it, your emotional work matters, and it's expensive. It is really expensive. It's costly on you, and other people cannot afford to pay for the emotional work that you do. The emotional work that a water person does for somebody in grief, somebody who's gone through loss, is just so profound that you can't even put a price on it. That's how expensive it was. Just imagine like the richest person, like Donald Trump, like he's very wealthy. And imagine if he's just having a shit day. And imagine if the people around him don't really care about him because they're all earthy and all they care about is money. But if a water person could come in and hold him or listen to him and make him feel better, why did I say better? Make him feel better, that would be so extremely expensive. And that is what you need to understand, water person. Learn to value the emotional work that you do, because it is extremely valuable. So don't forget that. Before I forget, your other currency is your intuition. When you're a water person, you have this very subtle energy about you that allows you to receive energy from others, emotional energy, psychic energy from others, and having that channel so open as a water person means that you are more psychic than other people. Everybody is psychic, everybody's psychic, right? But water people are more receptive to it, because remember, water is receptive. So you are receptive to receiving that type of information, but you have to make sure that you're taking care of those channels and you're renewing yourself and keeping your water flowing so that your intuition works and it doesn't turn to paranoia, Scorpio. So now let's get into the self-care tips. These self-care tips are going to help you make sure that your water is flowing and that it's crystal clear and that it receives what it needs to receive, but that it sends out whatever it doesn't need to have in order to keep, the water's flowing. So the first thing you need to do for regular strength, this is on a weekly, a daily basis, you need to be getting in touch with your feelings and your intuition regularly. And I have two ways that you could do that. The first one is by journaling. That is one way to connect with your feelings and just let it out. Who cares? No one's gonna read it. You can burn it after. Just let your feelings come out somewhere, especially if you're a Scorpio. Scorpio people tend to keep things inside. So Pisces has a tendency to not even, they feel so much, they don't even know what they're feeling because it is just a lot. So when you are able to verbalize it and get it down on paper, it helps you to pour it out on the page. And that in itself is therapeutic, and you are connecting with your feelings and processing them. That is one very easy way of processing feelings. It helps you know like why you feel a certain way. So the second thing that you could do that really helps you connect with your intuition is have a tarot practice, a tarot ritual. I like to do tarot every Monday morning. I set aside like maybe 20 minutes. I really can indulge and sometimes go longer, but the point of it is I keep it in my journal and I have a spread that I do. If you guys would like for me to share it, I can share it on Instagram, or I can make a little video about it if you guys are interested. So I like to do a spread for the week so that I could try to see what are the things that are going to come up, what are some pitfalls that I might look for, and what are some ways that I can deal with those pitfalls. So that's what my spread looks like. And what I do is I write it down, and then the following week I go back and I see like, hey, was my intuition on point? And I've noticed that with time, my intuition has gotten better and better. And now like I just see a spread and I'm just like, oh, this is what's going to happen this coming week. This is how this week is going to look. So that is one, like you're testing your intuition, you're using it, and then you go back and you see like, hey, did it come true? So that's a very simple, because it's from week to week. I do it every Monday. I find that doing it daily might be too much, but if you do it once a week, I think it really works and it keeps your intuition flowing. So if you need some extra strength, self-care, so that was the regular strength. Now let's go into the extra strength. So I think that you should connect with air. So stop, take a moment, get out of your feelings and use logic. And I know that when you're a water person and you're really deep in the feelings, this can be difficult. So I don't mean you logic while you're like deep in the midst of feelings, but go to somebody who is a more practical, a more earthy person, or you could even go to a therapist, somebody that is going to help you process your emotions in a way that is removed from the situation. Because when you're a water person, you can get so deep that you can't even see out. So it's very important that somebody is able, when you are deep in there, that you have somebody you can go to who's going to help get you out of that deep water, because that's a really important lifeline for you as a water person. Somebody who is pragmatic is very useful to have. And next, it's kind of like this. So use earth and ground yourself. Whenever you're a water person, you can get real watery with it. And you can have a tendency to just kind of like dissolve, melt. I don't even know how else to describe it. But you can detach yourself from your body so much that you don't take care of yourself. You can maybe stop feeding yourself right, stop exercising, stop hygiene, whatever it is that you need to do to keep you grounded, you stop doing that, especially if you're Pisces. So connect with your senses, connect with your smell, touch, taste, things that are going to put you back into your body. Because I like to say, like, I'm not even a person right now, I'm a spirit, because I have stuff in the 12th house. So as a water person, you could have a tendency to kind of leave your body a little bit and be like fully in your feelings. So, or your intuition, or all up there, up in the psychic realm. You're not in your body, in your physical body. So you need to find a way to put yourself back in your physical body. And that could be like going and having a really nice meal that you really enjoy and really connecting with that meal. Think of Taurus and how grounded they are and how connected to the senses they are. Or I'm not gonna say watch a movie, because I can totally veg out on movies. I could really lose myself in movies. So unless it's like a very grounding movie, no movies, because that's very Neptune. So something physical, exercise, go for a walk, go for a run, something that is going to make you exhausted or tired, so that you feel it in your body. You feel tired in your body. Your legs are sore, or your legs are, they burn because of the exercise. So that's bringing you back into your body. And lastly, this one probably bleeds into the previous one, but it is connect with fire. So actually move your body, so that you are not just in your feelings, because when you spend too much time in the feeling realm, then you can detach yourself from your body. And it's really important that we have a union of body and spirit, and our intuition is connected to our body, because we're in the same place, right? But we can have a tendency to separate from our bodies and forget about them when we are watery people. So those are the tips, guys. That's what I have for you today. If you like the video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to my channel. I put out videos every single week. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Let me know your experience, what you think about these tips. If you have some other useful tips that I didn't think of, leave them in the comments, because I love to read your comments and I always reply. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.